Hey guys, welcome to Game On. I'm Justin.
And I'm Matt. This time we're going to be talking about the three pillars of what makes a successful role-playing game. Those things are drama, realism, and an exciting pace that keeps the game moving.
Yeah, most great role-playing games have at least two of those, but sometimes they seem to be lacking on that third. So today we're going to give you some examples that we use in our games to help you boost up that third pillar.
All right, so let's get to it.
Okay, so one of my favorite game systems that is pretty much almost a simulation over than a game is Traveler. I mean, you've played this game, you know what I'm talking about. So the Traveler is very, very good at realism and drama, but the problem is that if you are not well prepared, you're going to be looking up tables all day long. Because you're just trying to, if you don't have everything marked out, you're going to lose your players by just like going, hey, hold on 1 second, rolling on a table. So the way that I like to help ease the realism and the drama is a couple of things. Kind of like D&D, sometimes I will pre-roll, and I'll have everything written down. So I know it's still random, but I have it written down. But there's a lot of things that you can get through Drive-Thru RPG. There's a lot of supplements that you can get for $0 to $1. They're really, really good resources to have. Things that you can have. I've also made my own, but you can have like a quick reference sheets of tables that you can just go to and look at. I am also known for making my own quick reference sheets that I can give myself and slightly different ones to my players. So in case there's a spoiler on it, they don't see it. But I want them to be looking at almost the exact same thing I am, so that the communication between the two of us is just is flows. If that makes sense.
It does, and I think that's really crucial for first-time players or novice players that are not familiar with Traveler, because it can be overwhelming, those charts.
There's a chart for just about everything. You know. So if you're not willing to put in the work to know where everything is in the book, again, the pre-rolling or having a quick reference sheet, giving it to them and to yourself so that you can both see what you're talking about. It's quite important. It's actually worked very well in my games.
Oh yeah, I can see how having things quickly at hand will really improve the pace in a game that is very sharp.
Yes. But I know that there are a few more games out there that I would say are probably a little bit more chart heavy. Ones that you and I like to play, specifically you, that involve big giant mix.
One category that tends to get the pace and the realism very well, but is lacking in drama, are technical war games. Games that do a lot of number crunching, data tables, and dice rolls, but not a lot of storyline. One of my favorites that is definitely an example of that is old school Battletech. I grew up on this game, I love this game, but I don't know, you can see those tables on the back, it's all numbers, this game. When you get to the actual battle, it's all numbers, it's maps, it's ranges, it's damage, it's not people. Now, they tried to supplement the game with the Mech Warrior, which is sort of the role-playing aspect of this universe, and they give you some material to work on, where you add some drama by adding motivations, the people aspect of the game. Now, it takes a little work to shoehorn that into a storyline, but it actually is important because it tells you why people are fighting and what they're trying to achieve in these technical battles that are so much fun to map out. So really, you want to interject their motivations. You want to give them objectives. You want to, whether it's rescuing somebody or holding a position or trying to escape. And one of the cool things with that, it tells people why they're doing what they're doing, but it also sets them up for potential consequences down the line, which I know kind of dovetails with your favorite.
Yes, Warhammer 40K and also Kill Team are both known for their living campaigns. So you screw up in those first couple of battles, there is lasting consequences down the line. And that kind of injects a whole lot of drama into the game.
Well, sure, it raises the stakes for them.
Definitely, because one battle could be affected 3 battles down the line, just because of different point ratios and that kind of stuff. But it also allows you to kind of role play a little bit, because they add a little bit of narrative to the campaign. So getting to role play your commander or your army is fun. You feel like you're in power.
Sure. Yeah. No. Absolutely. Putting personality or getting to play the personality of the character in any type of game, it can be exciting. But I also like the idea of having consequences to your future actions.
Oh yeah, definitely. It makes you think about everything that you're doing even harder.
And weigh the pros and cons, man. Yeah. Whether you're going to take risks in a battle, if you know that there's consequences to the fun you're going to have later. So, yeah.
But there are some games out there that are a lot better, though, for drama and pace, aren't there?
Oh, absolutely. And we're going to, in this next segment, talk about definitely one of my favorites. So one of my favorite systems is really heavy on drama, does very good with realism, and fair with pace. But I would say if it's lacking in anything, it's probably the hardcore realism that we were just talking about with the war games. What I'm talking about here is the World of Darkness, White Wolf's horror theme genre, best typified by vampire, but it's applicable to all of the different storylines and different source books in this system. You know, they really lay in on the drama. Maybe too much for some people's tastes, but I kind of like it. I think it really heightens the tension and makes it exciting for people. And the system is very intuitive, so the pace is good. You know, and this is the example that I'm going to use, but a lot of role-playing games are pretty good on drama and pace if they're well designed. And certainly in the horror theme genre, but you know, one of your favorites, Call of Cthulhu, is like that.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of others that we could kind of run through. But so the way to add realism is actually probably the easiest element to add to a game system, because it's statistics, right? It's numbers, it's objective. So really you can look up additional detail. You can calculate percentages. You can calculate likelihoods, probabilities, and add that kind of stuff. Say you want to expand the equipment tables in a game because they have not enough variations in weapons or vehicles or whatever it is that you want. Finding that stuff, it exists in the real world in the case of a modern day game like White Wolf's system. So sure, you want to give people 23 different cars to choose from instead of just 4? Easily done. Spend half an hour on the internet and you've got pretty much all the data that you can ever want. And you can add as much or little of that into a game as you want to add that realism, and you can dial it in and dial it out. Now I make myself full binders of extra equipment to add that realism. But you can, again, put as much or as little of it into you want to, and you can add it to any system. One of the things that makes it good for World of Darkness and is a system, it's a base 10 system, so it's very intuitive. Any sort of percentile system or D100 system, that's very intuitive too, so it makes adding realism to a system like that even easier. So yeah, that's one of my favorites and one of the ways to add realism.
And those are 3 examples that Matt and I take when we're running our own games that helps supercharge an element of the game and help make it more well-rounded. It helps really take a good game and make it great.
Yeah, look, the ideal scenario is to find a game that does all three things: pace, drama, realism, and does all three well. But that's a lot to ask with any game. So it's good to have in your toolbox ways to identify one that might be just a step behind the others and give it that little extra boost. So hopefully that information we provided to you is useful to you guys. Obviously, it applies to a million different games other than the ones we've talked about in our examples. But hopefully you can employ some of those techniques and make your games more fun for yourself and your players.
Let us know in the comments below what you do to help you make your games a little bit more well-rounded. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and until next time, game on!